Hi everyone, my name is Zeest, and today I'm going to share a little bit about my spring break trip with my friends to Cancun, Mexico. I went to Mexico over spring break 2 years ago, back when there was, there were no travel restrictions, things like that, and it was a lot of fun. It was one of the most one of the best times I've ever had in my life, and it was just an amazing trip, and mostly because of the company that I had. So I went with some really great friends of mine. It was a big group of people, so we were very safe. We were taking care of each other, and apart from that, just the place that we were living in, and our surroundings, just the weather, everything was perfect on that trip, and our itinerary, the places that we went, the people that we met, everything was just spot on. It was perfect. It was the perfect trip, and I don't think I'll ever go on a better trip. So I'm very excited to share my experience with you all today. Just to start, here's the flag of Mexico, and this is just, yeah, that's just me. I'm holding a bunch of water bottles at the beach, and as you can see, the beach looks perfect, and there's these perfect seagulls flying around. Everything was perfect about this beach. But yeah, it's day. So here is the first day at the airport. This picture on the right is actually, as you can see, it says Cancun Squad. Those are some of my friends. We were at the airport. We were up very early. As you can see, the ticket says Philadelphia to Cancun. I live in Bethlehem. And so from Bethlehem, we went to Philadelphia Airport, and we had to be there 2 hours before our flight, or I think 3 hours, I don't even know. So we had to be there at like 7 a.m., which meant, and it's like a 2 hour, almost 2 hour trip to Philadelphia. So we had to leave at like 5 a.m. And so that meant we had to get up at like 4 a.m. It was a whole thing, and it was like Thursday, so I think we all missed class on Friday. But yeah, it was bad. All of us were very sleep deprived, as you can see here on this picture. We all have like reddish eyes, and we just really don't want to be there. We want to get on the plane and go to sleep. But yeah, that's me right in the middle. That's a picture of me right as we got off the airport in Cancun. We were on a van that was taking us to our Airbnbs. We were staying in a house. It was taking us there. It was a little far away from the airport, and I just passed out. I was like dead asleep. A friend of mine took this picture. And also, you can see I'm holding a game. It's called Taboo. I don't know if anyone has played it. It's a really fun game. And that's like a summary of stuff that we did on that trip, as we played a lot of games. So that was fun. Yeah, so first night, when we got there, we were all super tired, super sleepy. We actually had a mishap at the airport where we could not get a ride to our Airbnb. We didn't want to Uber there. We were trying to save money, and we had someone who was going to pick us up, but like that person never showed. It was like this whole thing. And so we were all so exhausted. We actually got off the airport, and then we spent 2 hours outside the airport, and we just didn't know how to get to our house, and so it was very haphazard. And so we were super tired when we got there. We were like, we're not going to do anything. We literally walked from our house to, like, we walked like on the street, and the first restaurant we saw is the one that you see on this picture here. And so we were like, we're eating here. We don't care. We're not going to go look for a restaurant. We don't care about the quality. We just want to eat some decent food. And honestly, the food here, I remember, was really great. And mostly it was just fun because of the people. And we just had fun. We were like super out of it. We got some energy because of food. And we were like, we're doing this. We're in Cancun. This is our first night. But yeah, it was fun. Okay, and so the next day we went to the beach, and I kind of combined a lot of pictures from the beach on each day. So this isn't all on the next day, on our first day there. So this picture on the left is on the first day. We took a group picture of the beach. This is actually across the beach that we took this picture. And here is what the beach looked like. We walked there, I think. No, we actually took a bus there. It was like a free bus. You just hop on. and it drops you near like different locations, so you could just get off wherever you want on the beach. And so we got off there, and honestly, it was beautiful. On one of the days, we actually were. I took this picture of myself. Somebody took this picture of me. We were actually sitting at a restaurant, and yeah, we had food there. It was delicious, and then we would go and we would swim, and then we'd come back, we'd eat a little. It was just overall, it was a lot of fun. The beach, mostly because of the weather, so it was like windy, but it wasn't cold. It was very nice. It was the perfect weather. It was perfect conditions. I did get a little tan, like a really bad, and not the good kind of tan. I got like really badly tan, like I got burnt. But so yeah, I'll get into that later. But yeah, overall it was a lot of fun. And then we took a boat trip to an island one of the days. We took a boat trip to an island called Isla Mujeres, which so here's a picture of me on the boat. I wish I got like a whole picture of the whole boat, but it wasn't just me and my friends. It was a big boat where there were a lot of people. So you had to pay for the boat like as a group. And then we got, I think it was like 4 or 5 hours total on that boat. It was very hot. This was the day that after which we got, all of us, all me and all my friends, we all got severely burnt because we were under the sun for so long, for like 4 or 5 hours, and we obviously in that moment we were hot, but we weren't really realizing the effects that would have on our skin. And even though we were all wearing sunscreen, which is always important, it was still just so bad that we couldn't walk properly. We couldn't like lie down on our beds properly. It was just that's how much it hurt. So we had to like we took a day off after this day to just do nothing, just sit and like in our house and just play games, maybe watch movies, things like that. But yeah, anyway, this day was amazing. So as you can see, here's a picture of the island. It's more of a touristy kind of place. They had so many souvenir shops. There's souvenir shops everywhere here. They had like little restaurants, and a lot of tourists come, and they had like some sort of resorts. A lot of tourists come and stay there. But yeah, we went there. Our boat kind of dropped us off over there for a bit, so we ate there. We ate like tacos and things like that. And then I think we stayed there for an hour, and then we went back. So we were 2 hours on the boat. We stayed 1 hour at the island, and then we went back. And yeah, the water was perfect. It was perfectly blue. I'll play a clip. So that's how perfect the water was. You can see it's very blue, and you can see it was super loud. There were so many waves, but it was amazing. It was so cold. And then we also, during this boat trip, we also went snorkeling. And that these two people right here are my friends. And so we went group by group. So I don't think I went with them. Or maybe I did. Maybe someone else took this picture. It was like 2 years ago, so I don't remember much. But I think someone else took this picture actually, and I was somewhere behind in those other groups snorkeling. And yeah, that was so much fun. We got to see fish. We got to see like the ocean clearer. I'm actually very scared of the ocean, so it was kind of hard for me to do at first. But once I got the hang of it, and I was also with all my friends, I was like, this is safe. This is okay. It was a lot of fun. But yeah, something else that we did. And then one of the days we actually drove. So we drove to a place called Chichen Itza, which is where this huge pyramid is. So that's our group picture in front of it, and that's the pyramid here. It used to be actually in the Wonders of the World at one point. And I think it was built by the Mayans, if I'm not mistaken. And I don't remember, but I think Chichen Itza means something like something of the dead. I should have looked this up. I'm sorry, but I forgot. But it's very interesting. You should look it up. There's like a really cool history behind it. So like we got these souvenirs of like the Mayan calendar and Mayan handwriting, and it was very cool. It was a great experience, and there were like these different architectural structures all around us. Not just this main pyramid that was in the middle. It was like this is like I don't even think it was the biggest, but it was like the the coolest structure, I think, and it was the one that it was the main attraction. But there were so many other structures like this that were built years and years ago by the Mayans. So this was also a really cool place. And I don't know if you can tell here, but my skin is super burnt in this picture. I look disgusting, but yeah, that's how that's how we were in those days, all of us. But and we were super tired as always, but it was still so much fun. Um, and then one of the days we went on when we went to the Cenotes is how it's called, which are just caves, and they're all around Mexico or Cancun at least is from what I remember. I don't remember the exact one we went to. There's so many of them, but we went to a really cool one where like I don't have so this picture, this group picture, in the middle is right across from the cave that we went inside, and so they're basically just these caves that you go into, and then you have to kind of like swim a little bit through this body of water, and then like you kind of like dive in, and I don't know, you're like kind of crawling through places. And as someone who's claustrophobic, which means like I'm afraid of being in small spaces and like being stuck somewhere, it was hard at first, but it honestly wasn't very hard because of the water. So if you're swimming, it doesn't feel like you're trapped somewhere. So we were like, even though we were like maneuvering through rocks and things, it was it wasn't that hard. It wasn't very difficult. Unless you obviously don't know how to swim, then it's scary. And if you're like scared of small spaces. But yeah, overall we all had so much fun there. We're all wearing our life jackets. It wasn't like deep or anything. There was one part which was deep, and then you could dive in and then dive right back and then come right back up. But you didn't have to dive. You could just cross through that. There was a big like anyway, you could just cross through it, and you could go to yeah, we would just go through all the little cave little spots in the cave, and then we would stop at places, and we had a guide who was like taking us there, and who was showing us around. And so he would stop here and there and go like, this is where this happened, this is where that happened. I don't remember the exact details, but it was very interesting at the time, and you should look into that if you're interested. They're really cool, the caves. And yeah, as you can see, this like it was kind of like in a little jungle forest type place where we had to like hike up there to the caves. And so that was also very nice. We were surrounded by trees, nature. It was very fun. And then there was these fun activities that we could do. That's a friend of mine. I did this too. It was super fun. So, oops. Yeah, so you could see, alright. So you could see how he felt like a lizard when he went there. That's why I added this video, not mine. Mine was just like, I just go and I fall in the water. But this one was funnier, so I wanted to add this one here. But yeah, he just like, it was fun. We did this over and over again, and then we swam in that water that you saw. And yeah, it was just an overall fun time. And I'm ending it on this picture right here. That's a friend of mine. I wish I had this picture this idea to take this picture, but I didn't. So I added his picture here, and he just wrote out Cancun and took this picture at the beach. This was our last night at the beach, and we were all really sad, really sentimental, because it was truly the perfect trip with the perfect people, and it was just an amazing time. And so we were all really sad. I think that's me over there in the back. One of them is me. I think I'm on the right, in the water. And yeah, it was dangerous to go any farther at night, I think. So we just kind of stayed near the shore, and yeah, it was an overall great trip. And if you ever get the chance to go there, obviously research the places. And I don't know if you can go everywhere, if it's safe to go everywhere, but obviously look things up, go with a group of people. And it was a great trip, and I'm happy to share that with you all, and I hope you all enjoyed listening to me talk about it. Bye.